Hey everyone, James White here, sales trainer and mentor, and man that's really keen to help you grow your business and achieve consistent sales results. One of the other key questions I get asked on a regular basis is how you can handle key objections that you might get from your prospect. So let's say you've had a meeting with someone and the meeting's gone quite well, but you generally then get an objection around the price, for example, or you might get an objection that they've already got an existing supplier. Or it may well be that they feel like they need to think about it, or now's not the right time. The challenge people always say to me is, James, how can I overcome those objections and deal with them in a way that can enable me to win the business? So a couple of points that you need to think about when it comes to this. The first thing is this, the best way you can handle objections is by asking questions earlier on in the sales process. So in those first 1 or 2 meetings that you have with your prospect. So the key thing to do is this, ask them questions in those early stages with probing questions that can really get to know the pain point and challenges that that prospect's facing. When you really understand what's going on in their world, what's happening, you're in a far better position to then handle the objection, especially if you know that pain, that issue has caused them a serious amount of personal issues or concern as a business owner. And invariably, those emotions and those elements that people are feeling, they want to go away. But one of the great ways in which you can, the first thing is make sure you've asked enough questions. The second thing then is to really not try and override the objection. The worst thing happens if you think someone says to you the price is too high, and that salespeople or business people then tend to do is to say, oh well, the reason it's not too high is because of this, this, and this, and this, this, and this, and this is how great we are, and this is why we're so good, and this is why you should pay for it. And what they fail to do is get inside the prospect's head. The prospect's thinking something, and our goal as business people is to get inside that guy's or lady's head and then be in a position where we can try and understand why they think that way. So if my prospect was to say to me, for example, your price is too high, I'd say, look, thanks for letting me know that, James, I really appreciate that. Can you tell me more what you're expecting it to cost, or what sort of value did you see in that proposal, and what did you need to see to feel it was worth what I was indicating it was? Or maybe if they're saying they want to think about it, I might say, look, I totally understand, thanks for letting me know that. Just tell me more, what are the key things that are going through your mind at the moment, what you really want to spend time thinking about. So what we want to do as sales and business people is understand what's going on in their world and then be in a position to respond to that rather than just try and talk over them. So when they then come back and say, well, actually it's a bit more than I thought, but if you've asked the right questions early on in the process, you're then able to say, look, appreciate this is an investment to make, but if you remember, we talked about this challenge causing you X, Y, and Z problems, and wouldn't it feel great to get that resolved? And doesn't it make sense to get those issues resolved and make sure you've got a clear mind and not have to worry about those elements? Doesn't it make sense to get those in place? And they might say, yeah, you're right, actually, or yeah, it does, but even so, it's still too expensive. In which case, you can then say to them, look, the price, I can't discount on the price, but what would you need to see in order to feel it's worth paying that amount for? So asking them again, try and get inside the prospect's head. Our goal is to find out how and what they're thinking, not just to override them with comments and talk and words that we think are going to make a difference, when in reality, the prospect's got a mindset and a thought process, and we have to unsettle them from that, or at least get to know what that is before we can try and deal with the objection and hopefully move forward and win the business. So I hope that helps. Objection frameworks are a key part of my sales toolkit that I think you should have in place. Have you got everything in place to win successfully in sales? Head over to my sales success test at www.salessuccesstest.co.uk. Take the information, take the test. I'd love to see what sort of results you get and how well prepared you are to achieve amazing sales results. Thanks for watching the video. James White here, sales trainer and mentor. Head over to my website, www.jameswhite.business, or search me anywhere social media or YouTube on my YouTube channel, James White Sales. Lots of free resources to help you get better sales results. Take care, speak to you soon.